amazing amount of fire rules so that they are safe. So air pack, because what is one of the things that really kills in a fire? Did you breathe it in? Smoke. Smoke. Yeah, fire is what? Hot. Dark. Smoky. Fast. Awesome.
You can see, this is our full firefighting turnout. By the time I actually end up in the fire, every bit of skin has to be covered, so we learned to do buddy checks. Jay and I ride on the back seat of the fire engine. So before we go into the building, we're going to take a look at our gear, make sure that our hood is up. You saw me put the hood on there a second ago. My mask is on, my gloves are on, these cuffs are down over. Just one little bit of exposed skin can lead to a pretty significant burn. Our gear is made out of Nomex, which is fire-resistant material. It's got a couple layers of insulation to keep us from the heat, but it also gets really warm inside because it holds in our body heat. Everybody on the fire engine carries a radio. Really important to communicate to Lieutenant Eads and Gary, the driver, the conditions we have. They can communicate that if they've hooked up to a hydrant, backup crews are coming in behind us. So huge piece of equipment here. And then obviously our most important piece of equipment right here is our face piece. Because even with firefighters, the thing that gets most firefighters, if there is a tragic death, is smoke inhalation. So our face piece and our backpack. In here, it's called a 45-minute air bottle. If you were just standing here, you'd have about 45 minutes. If you're working hard like you are on a fire, it's probably more like 20, 25 minutes. It's just normal room air squished up in a bottle. It's not like straight oxygen or something like that you put on a medical patient. Just regular room air, all compacted in there so we can carry it around on our back. Get us fresh, clean air to breathe in the smoke of the fire.
If you want to pull up, and I can talk while you're actually doing that.
Yep.
So what Jeff's going to do now is he's going to put his face piece on. He's going to connect to the oxygen that's on his back. He's going to get a really good seal. This is all rubberized right around the face piece, so he gets a really good seal to the skin. You'll notice that firefighters in the department, we're not allowed to have a full beard or a really big mustache, and our grooming standards for our hair have to be a certain length because we don't want it to affect how this mask seals to our face. Back in the old days, I've heard stories that the old school firefighters would take their beard, they'd grow them really long, they'd get them wet, and they'd shove that wet beard in their mouth, and they would use that as a filter to breathe the smoke. So luckily, we don't have to do that anymore. So Jeff's got the full mask on. He's got this cloth hood that he put down over his ears, so he's covered. Turn around for me. Then he brings these ear flaps down for a second layer of protection. So if you've got hot embers, hot water that turns to steam, it doesn't burn his neck or his ears. He reaches around, turns his air bottle fully on. Okay, turn back around. And now he's got his regulator right here in his hand. He'll attach it right here to his face piece. He takes a breath, and then he activates the air going right into here. Okay. He's got a microphone right here that's battery powered. We turn that. What's that? Oh, it's OS. So normally we have a microphone right here that kind of makes him sound like Darth Vader. So we're in a fire, we can actually hear one another speak to each other. So yeah, now he's fully covered. He doesn't have his gloves on yet, but the gloves would be the last area of protection. Okay. Oh yeah. So pass device here. So right here, this is basically like a little computer that he carries on his mask, and it gives him a bunch of information. It tells him how much air he has left in his bottle. You can continually check it. All he has to do is reach down, look up at it. There's a light on the side if he's in a dark environment, so it'll light up. It's got a little backlit. It also engages with a little computer right here in his face piece, and it's like a heads-up display. It has these little lit bars inside here, and he can see based on how many bars he has, to give him an idea of how much air he has left. If he lays motionless inside of a fire or an emergency environment where maybe he's gone unconscious or he's lost air, some reason that he's not moving, if he stays still for too long, this thing will start to go into alarm, a really loud alarm. So if he's motionless and firefighters on the fire ground are looking for him, we can just follow the sound. Okay? It also flashes green, and it gets brighter and brighter the louder it gets. It's hard to see in the daylight here, but if it was a dark environment and fire is smoking fire. So that's the first stage of the alarm. It gets louder and louder the longer it stays still. Louder. That would be full alarm right there. And that would go off until he either moved or he hit the button on the side that says, okay, I'm actually awake, I just didn't hear it.
Thank you guys. I hate to.
Yep.